Okay, trying this one last time, and if it doesn't work this time, I'm giving up. Hi, folks. BigDannyT here with 52 Weeks of Dan, and, well, I just got finished with the screwdriver about this tall, and it's basically how, hopefully, it will help me to record this a little bit faster than I recorded last night. I tried recording this blog last night. It took me 15 minutes, so hopefully, with the inhibitions lowered a bit, then my stuttering will not stutter as much. Fat chance of that. Anyway, as many of you know, I'm an anime fan. I do the convention thing. I've been doing it for 12 years, and I've been into anime since 1989, when I first saw that clip of Akira on MTV. When I first started going to conventions, I encountered this thing. It's called fanfic. Basically, it's people taking their own taking already established characters and writing their own stories with them. Well, I did this at one point, and the result was Sailor Moon: The Shastar Conspiracy. Shastar meaning superhuman abilities, study, testing, and research. Also, as any of you who have paid attention, Shastar is also my online name other than BigDannyT. It was a nice. It was a good fanfic. I got lots of rave reviews for it. A little more violent than your average Sailor Moon episode. I mean, come on, Sailor Jupiter throwing grenades at people? Yeah. Anyway, well, one of the things that I noticed that a lot of fanfic writers were doing is they would make soundtracks. Now, it's not like they would cut DVDs or mixtapes or whatever and distribute them. No, they would sit there and post, okay, here's a list of songs to listen to get the full experience of my fanfic. Well, I decided I would do the same thing, so I created the Shastar Conspiracy soundtrack. Behold the mixtape. It was, when I look back on it, and I look at the track listings, I look at it and it's like, this really has nothing to do with the story in the thing, or with Sailor Moon in general. It's basically a nostalgia trip of what I was listening to back in the late 90s. I would like to take you on that very same nostalgia trip. Give a little volume here, and we will start off with Side A, Track 1, Green Day, Basket Case. This was their breakthrough song. It's their big major label debut, and it was the song that really put them on the map. You know, no matter how often I listen to it, I've listened to it thousands of times, and I still really like it. It still gets me driving, gets the blood pumping, still gets me going. So, you know, basically, yeah, it's a very effective song in that regard. Next up, we have The Offspring, and a song that you might remember from the movie The Chase, starring Charlie Sheen and Henry Rollins, called Forever and a Day. Once again, not really sure what it has to do with the Sailor Moon, the Shastar Conspiracy. I think I kind of meant it to be like the very jarring music for when Sailor Moon wakes up and realizes she's late again. So, but still, as you can hear, very fast-paced, very cool song. It's off their first album from the Epitaph label called Ignition. It's very good. It's actually, I feel that it's superior to Smash when it comes to just rockabilly and punk sensibility. So, pick it up and give it a listen. For the next song, I slow it down a bit, and I give you the Velvet Underground with their song Ocean. This was the Velvet Underground is probably the oldest band on this compilation, but don't let that fool you. Their stuff, it's really cool. And, well, that's all I really have to say about it. It's just really cool. I mean, we're talking, you know, Velvet Underground, the the New York scene from the late 60s, Studio 54, Lou Reed, Nico, just everything about Velvet Underground is cool. And so is this song. It's a great song just to have wash over you and just be carried away as though you're on an ocean. So, for the next song, I speeded up a bit, and it's a band called Ash, and the song is called Kung Fu. Those of you that watched Jackie Chan's movie Rumble in the Bronx might remember this from the closing credits. They played it over his blooper reel. And once again, really fast-paced, really cool song. And what's really cool about this is Ash wrote and recorded this song when they were 17 years old. So yeah, before they were even legal to vote in America, they already had some really cool rock chops. So, you know, Ash, Kung Fu, pick it up. You won't regret it. The next song is kind of inappropriate for a Sailor Moon soundtrack. You see, Sailor Moon is marketed to teen and preteen girls. And the next song on my soundtrack is Journey, Open Arms. Those of you that saw the movie Heavy Metal knows what context this song was used in that. And, yeah, so don't get me wrong, it's my favorite song from Journey, and if you've got a tape of some music to make love to, this song has got to be on it, no questions. Sandwiched right in between the Barry White and the R. Kelly has got to be this song, Open Arms. But yeah, don't get me wrong, but it really doesn't belong on a Sailor Moon soundtrack. Next up, I kind of ease you back into the high-paced stuff with Big Empty by Stone Temple Pilots. It's from the Crow soundtrack, and as you can hear, it just starts out nice and mellow and everything, like a little quirky. But for the chorus, it really jams in, it kicks into overdrive and gives you some really good rock and roll. But yeah, it's a nice in-between song for it. Also, a couple of songs that I couldn't find the MP3s for. One of them is kind of good because it was Gravity's Kills Guilty, which, you know, when it first came out, yeah, it kind of kicked ass, but nowadays it's a pretty generic example of the techno-industrial scene from the 90s. And the other song that I left off of this, because I couldn't find the MP3, was a song by Ed's Redeeming Qualities, I Will Wait. To describe Ed's Redeeming Qualities, imagine if the Violent Femmes and They Might Be Giants had a kid and it was raised by Jim's Big Ego. They're very quirky, very fun, and yeah, so if you find anything by them, you know, pick them up. Also, both of those songs, I got them off of what was called the CMJ New Music Monthly CD. CMJ is College Music Journal, and it's a monthly subscription that gives you basically a nice cross-section of what's big on the college radio scene at that point. It's still in publication today, and the subscription's a little pricey, but every month you get a free CD of really cool music, and you know, it becomes worth it. So.